So I've just done the whole odd intro with no sound on, so we'll start again. For anyone who doesn't already, please hit that subscribe button and leave a like and a comment on the video. And for anyone who doesn't already either, on the left hand side is my Twitter page at FPL Tips, where I do most of my posting, although I have started recently on Instagram as well, although it's fairly similar between the two of them. But make sure you go and follow me on both of those and help me get towards that 10k end of season mark on Twitter. I'll do that again. Thanks for letting me know, guys. Before we get into it, what we'll look to cover today is some Game Week 31 planning, the fixture ticker and informed teams that we should be looking at buying, captaincy, and then any rate my teams that you guys want as well. So in terms of my team, I scored 38 points this week, and this is how I ended up lining up. So I did end up putting 11 players out, with Vardy being injured on the Friday night just before the deadline. I brought in Cantwell for Fleck, just because Cantwell I knew would play in game week 31, the blank, and we'll get to that. So that's sort of why I went with Cantwell. Was an easy swap and made sure that I put out enough players, and he scored 3 points, and that was fine for me. Going through my team, then we see a lot of blanks. I suppose 3 standout players. So Jimenez with the 7 with just the goal against Spurs. Lascelles with the 6, a very welcome clean sheet. But the man of the hour in goal, Gaeta, with an 11-pointer, which really changed my game week completely. The first points to come in actually was Gaeta, the early kickoff on Saturday. Very pleased with him indeed. To those of you guys in the chat, please let me know how your game weeks went. Let me know how your game weeks went, your high scoring players, and I will, Liam, get to looking at your rate my teams towards the end of the stream, so you might need to repost your team ID, but I definitely will get to it. So yeah, that's how I lined up this game week with 38 points. It gave me quite a nice 50k green arrow up to 475k. But yeah, most of my returns coming from sort of 3 main players, with the rest of them all blanking. So in terms of, my team for next week, this is how we are currently lining up. I have 1 free transfer in the bank, and it may potentially be used on Traore. Now, Traore is set to be out for a little while with another shoulder injury, so it looks like he will have to make way for my team. Now, who comes in his place is quite a difficult one. Because I originally planned to go Saka if Arsenal got given the if Arsenal were given that double game week against Man City and West Ham, then Saka would likely come in for me for Traore, help free up some money as well. Welcome, guys. Anyone watching on Instagram, please come and join on YouTube and drop your questions in there. And also, if you join on YouTube, you will see my team as well, Liam, which might answer your question. So some of you in the chat, Aryan 41, nice score, very nice. Luke 42, Doherty and Captain Jimenez saved you. Well, that's very well played there. Really like Doherty, and we'll get on to him in a minute. Nuclear atoms, 40 points with a -8 from 43 to 46. Okay, with a -8, that's very respectable to only drop 3k. Yes, I'm live on YouTube right now. Live on YouTube. You got 52, very nice. You must have seen a large red arrow. 25 points with a -4 hit. Yikes. Hoping next week is better. Yeah, I think it will be for quite a lot of us. 29. It's the same as, sorry guys, just the guys on Instagram. It's the same as my sort of Instagram and Twitter. FPL tips, just with a Z on the end on YouTube. The link is on my Twitter page, and it should be on my Instagram on one of my recent posts as well. You brought in Doherty and Hayden for Traore and Bolly for Game Week 29 -4. Very nice. I will get on to Doherty in a minute and my plans with him. He looks like a great prospect, but we'll get on to it. Sell Vardy and Traore for Jimenez, Jota and Sarr. Interesting, probably not moves that I'd make. I mean, Traore needs to go, so yes, the latter two would make it, but I'm personally keeping Vardy. I convinced you to get Doherty. You're welcome. I wish I'd got him, and now I'm looking at a way. I'm having to try and scramble him in over this week or next week, and we'll get onto maybe how I could do that in a little bit, but. I'm glad some of you have seen good scores. Do I think Wood will start next week? So I'm not entirely sure if he was in the squad. Let me just check. Was he? I knew that he was close, but so I probably would expect him to start next week. He was meant to be close at the weekend. Chris Wood was, yeah, so I would expect Chris Wood to come back in and start next weekend. Is Alonso a good shout? So this is from Nuclear Atoms. Is Alonso a good shout after the FA Cup match? So as a Chelsea fan, I see a lot of people going for Alonso, and I can see why. With our injury to Kante in midfield and on the wing, it could be that we stick with this 3-5-2, in which case Alonso would definitely stay in the team. So as a short-term punt especially, he is definitely a good pick. But as I would say to everyone here, please wait until at least Tuesday evening, if not Thursday, before making your transfers, and when we know the cups and the blanks that will come up in Game Week 31. The 31 blanks will be confirmed this week as the cup matches take place. If a team makes it through the FA Cup semis, will they then play one game in that game week midweek and just have one double in 37, or will they just completely blank in 34? So it kind of depends. It's likely that they play one game in 34 and have a double in 37. The only reason that wouldn't be the case is if someone like Man City gets to that round, but also in the semi-finals of the Champions League as well, which would then make them have a triple in 37. So it is likely that they play one in 34 and have a double in 37 than blank in 34, because that midweek of 34 is available. So they will go there unless they have Champions League or Europa League semi-finals that week. So, should we get into my potential transfers? Who are you guys thinking of bringing in this week? Let me know. Let me know who you guys plan on bringing in. Gomez and Traore to Egan and Sarr. So, Sarr's a difficult one because I own Gaeta, so I'm quite hoping that Sarr doesn't perform this weekend, so I'm maybe less optimistic about him than some of you are. Gomez out, isn't it? He's back fit, but I expect Sheffield United to keep a clean sheet this week. So Traore needs to go. If you could just do Traore to Sarr, then I would just do that on its own probably. Should you transfer out Ings and Taylor for Alonso and Shane Long? No. No, that doesn't help the blanks at all. So we'll get onto my transfers now, and in the process of doing that, I will answer your question, Liam. So I plan on holding Vardy another week. I don't see myself needing to sell him yet. He still has good fixtures over the next run of Villa, Watford, Brighton in the next three. Definitely keeping him for those, so I'm keeping Vardy. If you do really want to go Aubameyang, then go for it. He's slightly less appealing for me now. There's no double, but I can't afford him in anyway, so Vardy will be staying for me. So it's obvious for me that Traore needs to make way, but I also feel that, especially if Liverpool lose midweek to Chelsea, that Doherty is very, very much needed in our teams at the moment with his form, with his fixtures. And with Traore being out, it means that he is free to roam up and down that left wing. Now, okay, if you don't have enough, then I wouldn't do it for a -4. I'd just do Traore to someone else. Will Vardy play next week? He's expected to. So if I get the quotes up from Rodgers. Where will I find them? So Brendan Rodgers confirms that Jamie Vardy won't feature in the FA Cup tie against Birmingham City on Wednesday, but that he should be fine for the Aston Villa match. So what he said was, we aim for him to be back on Monday, and he should be fine for that. So I expect him to play on Monday, and I expect him to be back. So for me, Doherty will come in, but now this selling Traore only leaves me 4 million in the bank. Obviously, that's not enough cash. So where can I look to free up that money? People have looked to Ings to Long, and I mean that's a possibility. With Newcastle at home, with good history in recent fixtures as well. He's not been bad. He's been just on form as Danny Ings has. So it is definitely a possibility that those two transfers could work. That would be a -4. And I'd switch to a 4-3-3. Doherty, Robertson, Trent, Stevens, Salah, De Bruyne, Martial, Vardy, Long, Jimenez. But it's basically, how am I finding that cash to upgrade Kelly all the way to Doherty? And I don't quite know how I'm going to do it. And Doherty may end up not coming in this game week exactly for me. It's just that in his last 4, 6, 6, 10, 12, massive returns for him. Robertson to Doherty, no. The reason I don't like that is because of the game week 31 blank. If Liverpool do have a fixture, then I definitely want to be keeping the Trent Robertson double up for that. Now, if we know that Liverpool are going to blank in that, then maybe it's something I can consider, but I don't think so. I'm quite enjoying my Robertson Trent double up at the moment. I know they were a bit poor maybe the past couple of weeks. No, he got an assist against West Ham. So no, it's not something that I plan to do. But if you have any ideas of where this cash here, this 1.8 can come from, then please let me know. Martial is another one that I think if someone was to ask me now how I would make these moves, it would probably be Martial and Traore out over the next 2 weeks to fund Doherty upgrade. Now, whether I do Martial just this week or I do Traore just this week, I don't quite know, and I don't know who their replacements are going to be exactly. But these two are likely to make way. So the game week 31 blank. If I can type, I can get it up for you. So when is the best time to wildcard? Now for me, it will be game week 33 roughly, and then I will free hit in game week 34 and bench boost in 37. But any time between about 33 and 36 is the best time to go. Yeah, Martial to Barnes is an interesting one. I'm not. I've got Vardy, and I don't know how invested I want to be in Leicester outside of Vardy. If I can ever find this. No, this is too long ago. It's definitely below that. I remember looking at it earlier. Yeah, Martial to Barnes would free it up for me. Let me just go to his media and that will find it quicker. So yeah, in terms of the best time to wildcard, there isn't. It sort of depends on your team. I will, over the summer as well, be upgrading my laptop. So this is much better. We'll be having guests on stream as well from all around the community. So whoever you guys want me to have on, I will happily start arranging. Should you sell Aguero to Jimenez? I think if there's no double, that looks like a very good move. So here we go, finally. So this then looks at game week 31, the blanks and all things like that. So we are currently only have 4 playing. We will have a minimum of 6 because either the Tottenham West Ham or the Norwich Everton game will take place because Tottenham play against Norwich. The big one that people are looking at is this Liverpool Crystal Palace, with Liverpool going away to Chelsea in the Cup. If Chelsea were to win, then Liverpool wouldn't blank, and then it makes the free hit much less important. And a lot of people are sort of going down the alley of, if Liverpool blank, you play your free hit then. If Liverpool don't blank and play, then you don't play your free hit. It seems to be coming out more or less simple as that. FPL Dave, happy to arrange it with him, definitely. Love Dave a lot. So yeah, that's sort of what people are thinking. Spurs, I reckon, will probably beat Norwich, depending on what they focus on. And Spurs could end up putting out a bad team for that, a weaker team, and Norwich could go through. But I expect Liverpool. The Liverpool one I find hard to call. I think we can end up with that Newcastle Aston Villa game going ahead, with Newcastle playing West Brom. And then it's the Liverpool Crystal Palace. If we were to have Newcastle, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Bournemouth, Burnley, Watford, then I don't think it's worth a free hit in game week 31. I think we can plan well enough for that. We are predicted to have 5 or 6 blanks, which would make sense. How is there even a chance of 2 blanks? But anyway. But yeah, that's what that's looking at. Quite an interesting sort of piece there. But we'll get much more news, and I will keep you all updated going forward on who is likely to blank or not on all social media, but I'm sure you follow a lot of people who will as well. If he doesn't perform over the next 2 or 3 game weeks, then yeah, it's time to get rid of Vardy. But I just think their fixtures are good enough that we should be keeping him. So with those transfers in mind, this is how my team lines up next week. Now, I do really want Doherty in, and Traore is not going to play. So this is how I'd hope to be setting up. Of course, I don't quite have the funds to be doing it. Kelly downgrade to Doherty and a Martial downgrade, followed by a Traore upgrade the week after, is a way that I could end up doing it. But right at the moment, I don't quite know. Should you still keep Grealish? Again, I'd wait. If he's going to blank in that 31 and you're not free hitting, then no, I'd sell him. But if you don't plan on free hitting and he has a match, then I'd keep him. But if neither of that matters to you, I don't think that Aston Villa form is worth keeping Grealish for. They don't look good enough for me quite at the moment. So if we go to so one of the main reasons why Doherty is so appealing is his fixtures, especially over the next 4. Well, to be honest, even over the next 6, Arsenal at home, Sheffield United away, not exactly teams that, well, Arsenal I suppose are, but at home. So, and he's getting forward a lot, which is why a lot of people are looking to jump on him. Just quickly on a player we're talking about, on Grealish, we see him last on this list with the hardest fixtures over the next 6, with Leicester, Chelsea, Wolves, Liverpool, United, and then the Newcastle fixture in the middle of those. So definitely probably not worth keeping him unless you want him for that 31 blank where he could play. What are your thoughts on Sarr? I think he's a good option. He played really well against Liverpool. He was one of my guys that I was sort of tipping as an option to replace Traore when he first got injured. So he's definitely someone that I'll be looking at. Watford's fixtures are mixed, so we can see them here. Crystal Palace, Leicester, Burnley, Southampton, Chelsea, Norwich. Again, it might be important to you that he does play in game 31, but it is away at Burnley. But that is a nice fixture, nice enough fixture. So definitely worth looking at for Watford. Fixtures over the next 3 are good enough to worth bringing him in, I think. Definitely is someone I like and like the look of and would think of bringing in. Good evening, the FPL Crisp Packet. How you doing, bud? Hope you are well. Hope you're well, Charlie. Any of you guys who don't already, go and subscribe to Charlie on YouTube as well. It does good FPL videos. Put up another one today, so make sure you go and check that out. So yeah, that's why Watford, Sarr especially. Sarr is definitely the one that I'd be looking at going forward. So guys, drop your team IDs in the chat now, and just while I finish up the last few things, we'll get on to captaincy as well now. So in terms of captaincy this week, looking at the fixtures, there are obviously a few standout options, with most people will still resort back to their Liverpool assets. So either your defenders will be a good pick, definitely a good pick because I do see a clean sheet this weekend, or your attackers from a Liverpool perspective. Leicester City on a Monday night as well is nice. There are a few in there. Arsenal, if you've got Aubameyang, definitely a good option. I'd be looking at Liverpool, Arsenal or Leicester would be the ones that I'd be looking at. Maybe Wolves as a differential, but they're still differential having enough of them in your team anyway. So yeah, I personally, as you may have seen, am on Vardy at the moment. Sort of a differential at the moment, and I don't know if it will stay there. Currently, I plan on keeping on him, but it may fall back to Salah or even Trent. So this is Liam. So Liam scored 38 with a -4 this week. Your transfers, does it say? Oh, come on, I don't have to look. So you didn't field a goalkeeper. You fielded full outfield 11. Doherty, Traore, Jimenez. Your Wolves triple up came in trumps for you apart from Traore. Your team looks really nice. Iheanacho is an interesting one if Vardy's not out for that long. And I presume you brought him in this week. So Traore and Iheanacho are definitely the two to make way for me. Even if it is Iheanacho to Shane Long, or there's not Traore to Sarr as well. How much is Iheanacho now? 5.7. There's not loads that you can do there, so you kind of might have to balance your funds around a little bit to move one down and the other up. Iheanacho to maybe down to Iheanacho to Shane Long, maybe Traore to Bruno Fernandes if you can afford that. Bruno Fernandes definitely looks like a hot topic at the moment, on great form, in front of goal. 3 goals and 3 or 2 goals and 2 now. So yeah. Are you going to bring Vardy back in? Fair enough. You've got a lot in the bank then. I would look to go Traore out, although with De Bruyne, Fleck, and Egan all easily coming back into your starting lineup, I imagine you'll line up with Lascelles, Traore, and maybe Fleck on your bench, with those two making way for De Bruyne and Egan into your starting lineup, and line up with a 4-3-3 again, I imagine is the way you are currently thinking. But very nice team indeed. Keep up the good work with that. So JM Skull, onto yours. So you scored 34 this week with a -4. Captain on Mane, one returner in Doherty, and Jimenez as well. Your team is nice. I'm not a huge fan of Firmino at the moment. In terms of your bench, Baldock will come in. De Bruyne will come in, presumably, for Williams and someone else. You might have a tough decision to make this week. Stevens, maybe, because of their poor defensive form and maybe not wanting to double up at the back. But in terms of transfers, I think Firmino may be one. But then if they're going to play in 31 and you're not going to play the free hit, it's not worth selling Firmino. So yeah, maybe Traore, even if it's just Traore to someone like Cantwell or Duda of Norwich. Duda I'd go with over Cantwell, both the same price for Norwich. So, and then it would just free up some cash and it would give you another playing player in 31 if that's your plan. You'd currently have Everton 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus Traore to Cantwell 7. You'd have 7 players already from that game week. So yeah, so maybe a good way to go if that's your thinking. Just want to have a look at what Ben Krellin tweeted just now. So potential postponements that could end up Aston Villa vs Sheffield United. Possible if Sheffield United lose, Newcastle beat, and Man U win. Right, so that's the only one. Right. So next team, Arjen. Arjen Robben. 420,627. So returned 41 points with a -4. Presumably a small green arrow for you there. With your it will be a green arrow for you there. Calvert-Lewin, Fernandez, Jimenez being the big returners for you, and Foster in goal. So quite a nice sort of all-round from you. You were thinking Kelly out for Basham. So if we look at your bench for next week, you will probably want... Traore is fine on your bench. I'm not sure Kelly to Basham is necessarily worth a transfer, because who will you then drop to your bench? Because your front three you're not going to drop. Barnes, Salah, Fernandez, De Bruyne you're unlikely to drop. Then at the back you're not going to drop Trent, Robertson or Pereira really. Which then leaves Bolly, Traore, Kelly all to be on your bench. So if you were to do Kelly to Basham, Arjen, who would you bench from this team? Because you're just making life difficult for yourself by using a transfer when you maybe don't need to. I like your team a lot. I still don't have Calvert-Lewin, who just seems to be ticking along so well with one blank in the last 6 for a bench boost. But then the only problem with bench boost is Traore is not going to play and Button doesn't play. So then you'll be bench boosting with 2 players. So I would just think about making sure you've got a fuller 15 out if you're going to bench boost, but don't give yourself a rotation headache if you're not. So nuclear atoms team. 0 transfers made. I was going to say, this is the team that came up and I suddenly thought, Nuclear, have you not listened to my streams at all over the past weeks? But that's not his team. Thought, have my knowledge gone to nothing? That's more like it. 40 points with your -8. You're thinking Ings and Taylor out. I don't see why you're selling Taylor. They've been much better and they don't blank in game week 31. So I wouldn't be selling Taylor. De Bruyne, Aubameyang, Grealish, all on the bench. Right. Traore should probably go. Straight down, Traore to Duda maybe of Norwich. He's on all set pieces. Yes, I am Liam, so drop your team names, your team IDs in the chat and I will get to them. So I don't think Taylor to Alonso is necessarily needed because you're not going to want to play Taylor every week anyway. So yeah, I don't think those transfers are worth it, to be honest. After the blank. After 31. In terms of when you should bench boost, a lot of people are playing it in 29 because of all the nice fixtures. I won't be. I'll be waiting for 37 when we've got really strong fixtures all round. I do like your team. Traore to someone cheap to free up for the blank. It may be the best way to go, but of course just wait to see what happens with that Liverpool fixture tomorrow night, which I will be at. So, yeah, so doing rate my team, so drop it in. So, Laz, this is yours, quite similar to mine. 29. Okay, so Aubameyang will start, Traore won't, Lascelles won't, Bruyne will, and Gomez will. So again, I'd wait on blank game week news to see your chip strategy. If you plan on free hitting in 31, then try your aid to someone, maybe just to sit on your bench or to help you upgrade elsewhere. But it's really nice. I don't think there's too much that needs to be done with it at the moment. But if that news comes in that we won't be getting a fixture in, we will be getting a Liverpool game in 31, so we need to not free hit in that fixture, then try your aid to like Duda or Campbell or someone like that, cheap and cheerful to sit on your bench until that week is a nice move. So guys, any more of you want to put your team IDs in the chat? Yeah, post yours in the chat. But if not, guys, I will say my thank yous and my goodbyes for another week. I hope you have all enjoyed the stream once again. Get your final questions in. I've already done Bolly and Traore out to Hayden and Doherty. I like those moves. They're nice moves. I like that. Yeah, nice moves. But yeah, thank you all for coming once again. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button. Really do appreciate all your support going forward. And I will see you all. Oh, one more idea has just come in, so we'll do this. But yeah, if you guys don't already, please follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to me on YouTube. Well, there we go. Yeah, all that good stuff. Please hit the like button right now. You're watching. I know you are down there. Liam, Nuclear, Laz, Iron, Liam, anyone else watching, hit the like button now. So Liam, 37 -4. Vardy and De Bruyne and Gomez will probably come back in. Almiron will drop to the bench. Lascelles will drop to the bench. And Williams will probably drop to the bench. The rest of it looks nice. Yeah, not much. Armstrong's an interesting differential, but I quite like him. His form's not bad and his fixtures are good. So I'd be tempted to roll my transfer, to be honest, just to make sure you know your plan going forward. But there's nothing that I would change in your starting 11. Really nice team, Liam. Yeah, for me, Salah's probably the obvious captain. Salah or Trent, Aubameyang, Vardy, the top four for me. But yeah, guys, thank you all for coming by, and I will see you all next week. Good luck in game week 29. Only 10 game weeks left of the season. Good luck with it all. I've got some really exciting stuff coming for you all next season, and I'll be running a big tournament on fantasy football for just you guys on YouTube, which I'll do an update of every week. So yeah, there'll be a league which is just for you guys on YouTube, and there will be prizes and everything. And I keep it separate for Twitter to try and get a few more people on here. But anyway, guys, enjoy your game week, and I will see you all next week. Cheers, guys.